How y'all doing out there? What's up? What's up? This is Aubrey Frederick coming back to you, transmitting live. Some of you may know me as Aubrey Frederick. Some of you may know me as AF the Navis Chef. You may have heard this voice on BIM Thoughts podcast. But today I am re-emerging, reintroducing myself as Kuumba. Aubrey Frederick is my name, but it's my legal name, my birth name. That's not who I am. And so who I am is Kuumba, and I'm still discovering who I am. But I wanted to re-enter this content space, and I've found my passion again. I've been reinvigorated about some of the things that drive me, that motivate me and inspire me. Sometimes that's people, sometimes it's software, it's things that other people create. But this channel is called the TAO of BIM. I am a senior BIM specialist for BIM TM, but I also own my own consulting business called iCAD Solutions, which is what you see here on the OBS overlay. But BIM is life, and one of the things that I love about BIM is it can be applied to a lot of things. Um, it can be coffee, it can be art, as you see back here. It can be crafts. It can be things that you do in your garage. BIM is a workflow. It's not necessarily just one piece of software, but if you subscribe and follow the YouTube channel, you'll see that we'll try to show, or I'll try to show the different areas that BIM and design play a huge part in my life, and try to share with you some of the things that we've created using BIM, um, and hope that maybe that resonates with you. But um, I hope that you find inspiration in what I have to share, and I hope to bring you content that you enjoy. So without further ado, I think I'm going to jump right into. And before we get started, this is an awesome OBS overlay that I made in Adobe. I got to give a shout out to my teammate Blair here at BIMTM. It's got me all in on OBS. So um, it's just like anything else, right? Once you get going, you have to might as well go all out. So made a title card and overlay. Just makes you feel good when you look at it. So, but we're gonna. One of the things here I want to highlight too is the hardware at your workstation. So you're going to see some transitions and stuff. I'm using my Stream Deck, paired it up with OBS. I use it on Revit, other things. A great automation tool, but that's a Stream Deck. So yeah, you're going to see a little transition here. I'm just going to go ahead and slide this over here. We hit that. Boom. So I get geeked out over stuff like this, but yeah. Um, the what we're looking at on our screen, this was one of the first Revit families that I made, and I guess I wanted to take this opportunity to show this family because you can Revit or BIM, AutoCAD. It can take you to all kind of places. It just depends on where you want to go. So for me, I like to build tools and content that help the Sparkies. That is the electrical trade. Revit and most CAD software, it just doesn't have enough content to my liking for the electrical guy. So, we have to get in here and make our own stuff. I'm a big proponent of add-ins and plug-ins, third-party tools. One of my favorites that I kind of just download every year. You never know when you need it. But Bird Tools, love that for their tagging. If you do a lot of tagging, it's a great tool to help with that. And RF Tools, my trusty RF Tools. Shout out to David Rushforth. I can't live without my RF Tools. But this family here on screen, this family was one of the first families that I made it was somewhere I wanted to go. I wanted to know, why don't we have struts or unistruts or hangers that had built-in conduit pieces on it already. So in the year 2014, I went ahead and whipped this up. I have to say a big shout out to Jay Zallen, to his friends and family. Rest in peace, Jay. But you are a huge inspiration to this family. I was outside of LA Rug down in LA. We were doing a training session for, I want to say, the Los Angeles Water District, and me and Jay were outside smoking a cigarette. And I was asking him, how come they don't make families like this? And he basically told me in his way, why don't you just make the family yourself? So this is what we get. But what I love about this family, I was able to put a zone of influence in there. We have a blue banger. I also have an awesome drink called a blue banger. So we have our unistrut, we have our rods, and then we have these little pieces of conduits. And so I added these little starter conduits, and they go back to a lookup table, so they're pulling in the real conduit from Revit and everything. But so you could literally just draw conduit that was already on the strut. And so I don't know. There's something about that was just super cool to me. I didn't have to buy it or download it or anything like that. Just get in Revit and get inside the family editor and cook it up. So, but this was one of the first complex family that I was very proud of. And again, shout out to Jay Zallen, rest in peace. Jay encouraged me to build this family. And that's one of the things that I love about BIM. We have a very strong community. There's a lot of people that have given me tips and tricks over the years. But I think I do want to take this opportunity just to say hi to a few people that have inspired me over the years. But first and foremost, always the wonderful, the great Lynn Allen. Big fan of her blogs early on. Learned a lot about AutoCAD and how to use AutoCAD in ways that would help me later on in life. So Lynn Allen. I had a coworker named Lisa Aguilar or Letha Aguilar, and she introduced me to the AutoCAD trainer guy. I want to say Michael Beal, but awesome blog. Always used to read that, get tips and tricks. I used to download a lot of tools from Lee Mack, a wonderful developer out of the UK. There's a long list of names. I could probably get into that in future episodes. Of course, I want to say thank you to Bill DeBebick, former co-host there of BIM Thoughts. Bill always encouraged me to find my voice, and I'm hope if Bill is watching this, and I'm making you proud, and just trying to continue to push through, man. Just continue this journey. But yes, Bill DeBebick, thank you so much. I want to give a big shout out to Jeff Drews, owner operator here at BIMTM. Wonderful guy, very innovative in his approach to our industry and what he's doing. But he gives me a lot of confidence to kind of just to see what I can cook up. You know, he's a very forward-thinking guy himself. But again, big shout out to Jeff Drews. And last but not least, I would like to give a shout out to Frank Mayfield. Through the course of my career, I've had a lot of ups and downs, and there's been I've had a strong group of supporters over the years that have always looked out for me, and Frank Mayfield is definitely one of those guys. Me and Frank actually met on I want to say it was a feature in AutoCAD called Mentor All Stars, and Frank, you can chime in if I'm getting it incorrect, but one year I was testing out a new AutoCAD release, and a guy from Autodesk sent me a message through the software. I was like, what the hell? But that's how I met Frank Mayfield. Wonderful, wonderful man. I think he's over there at Augie at the moment. So shout out to Augie World, Augie Forums, Autodesk Forums. And so it's a small world in the BIM world, but I'm trying to pay it forward about producing content and making content to inspire others, as I've been inspired by Lynn Allen, AutoCAD trainer guy, the Balkan architect, Marcelo. Um, there's just, like I said, the list goes on. But um, what I love about BIM is it's a way of looking at things. It's a process. It's a workflow. And so making a family like this that you see here on my screen, it leads to other stuff, and you eventually just want to go deeper, go further, and see what you can do, what you can create. So eventually, working on families and different kind of workflows, codifying workflows, we eventually got to develop about 4 years ago our own add-in here called DOT, which is Dynamic Object Transformer. And essentially what DOT does is allow you to map parameters. And I'm not sure if I've seen another tool like this on the market, but let's see, I'll pop over here. And so we'll give this a final little run before we sign out here. And in future videos, I'll try to highlight some of my hardware, my add-ins, my workstation, because all of that stuff is BIM. So we're gonna jump in here. This tool came about from my extensive use of RF tools. There's a particular feature in RF tools that I love called Parameter Linker, and used it to great effect on tons of data centers. But it did lead me down a path. And one of the things I love about the Revit API and making tools is that you make the tool to your need. You just don't make it to make it, but you make it because you need to use it and it's going to help you. So in this case, did a lot of fire alarms over the year, a lot of fire alarm system, fire alarm projects. And so a lot of things are based off a level, room number, and name. So I tried to incorporate that in a way that was just a little bit more efficient for end users, whether they were power users or novice users, entry-level users. So I won't get into too much detail here. I'm just going to go ahead and slide into one of my profiles. And so what we're doing here is we have a source element, which is from the linked model, which are doors. Could be anything. We have a lot of categories here. We're going to add more as more people download and test, give us some feedback. But right now, these are the categories that we're looking at, the ones I thought most MEP AEC firms would use. So correct me if I'm wrong. Give me more categories you'd like to see. So right now, the door number lives in the mark parameter from the link file, and we're just going to send it to mark of our security devices in our host file. And it's just a simple tag that I have here, and this tag is just going to show the contents of the mark parameter. Right now it's a dash because it's set to dash, and then I'm just going to hit OK. We have a little dialog helper here, so go ahead. If you had multiple links, go ahead and select what link you'd like to target. In this case, we're going to do two, or the links that exist in this file. So I get a big kick out of making tools like this because it's user experience is very important in anything that you do. That could be your level of frustration, your level of competence or confidence in doing what you're doing, but your user experience affects that. So we try to work on tools and codifying workflows that improve the user experience. And if any of you have ever had to transfer room numbers, door numbers, transfer project standards, it can be very time consuming. So I have done this task that you're looking at many times, taken many hours, And as you can see, we just did that whole task in about 2 to 3 minutes. So every device that is near the door has now been numbered with the door number. So just extrapolate that to anything else. It could be any equipment near an equipment, or elements near columns, elements in rooms and spaces. But we try to save you the trouble of needing to recreate anything from the linked model. If that data is there, just go ahead and map it over. But this is my first entry back into this content space, so I'm gonna cut this short here and call it a day. Give myself a chance to regroup, maybe get some other topics from my user base. But I am happy to be back. And again, please go support and subscribe to the channel. Follow along this journey as we share with you the TAO of BIM. And on our way out, again, I would like to give a huge shout out to Frank Mayfield. In the post to this video, there's going to be a link to a GoFundMe for Frank's grandson by the name of Logan. And if you would kindly click that link, I would greatly appreciate it. So will Frank. And you can read all about Logan's story and do your part. But thank you all. Until the next episode, peace. Signing out.